This is Ain't No Telling the Podcast with your host, me, Cedric Johnson, giving you another episode, keeping it a buck and some change all day, every day. Let's get right into it. Have you ever taken a shit at the airport? And when I mean taking a shit at the airport, I'm not talking about before you hit your gate. And when I mean take a shit at the airport, I'm not talking about, on the plane right before it takes off. I mean taking a shit on the damn runway itself. On the runway now. Who has that almost happened to? Me. It almost happened to me. True story. So I'm participating in this 5K on the runway by the mayor. They always have it every year. Whatever mayor is in office, they do it. Keisha's done it. Andre's done it. Whatever. So I'm trying to get ready for the 5K. The night before, I want to load up on some carbs, so I can have some energy so I can run this 5K. Now, mind you, 5K really ain't shit to me. I mean, I've done, a couple marathons, which is 26, half marathons, obviously half 26. I'm not going to do all the math for you. And a couple 10Ks as well. So, 5K, 3 miles, it ain't shit to me. But, I was like, yo, let me load up on my carbs. So I had me a nice spaghetti dinner. It was real heavy. Usually not what I usually eat before a race. When I tell you that damn spaghetti went through me, and the crazy thing was I was good in the morning, but as soon as the race started, I went about 2/3 of a mile and my stomach started bubbling. I'm talking about like a hookah bubble. You know how it bubbles when you smoke hookah? My stomach was bubbling like that. I kept starting and stopping. I was like, maybe if I stand still, my stomach will cooperate with me. So I would stand still for about 15 seconds. I'll start running again. And my stomach was like, nigga, relax. You got the fucking bubble guts right now. You ain't doing shit. Literally. And mind you, this is a short race on the actual runway, one of the runways at Hartsfield-Jackson Airport. They didn't even have no porta potty on the runway for us runners, just in case something happened. So I'm at the point of no return where I don't go backwards. I've never walked that fast with clenched cheeks. I've never walked that fast with clenched cheeks. And the reason why I almost shitted on the runway, because I almost shitted on myself. This is a vulnerable moment. I almost shitted on myself, and I was preparing to do so. And I almost went behind. It was like one of those big lights that they use to guide the planes in so they can land safely rather. They weren't on, obviously, because it was an inactive runway since we were doing a 5K on it. But I almost went behind one of those. And that's when the FAA was going to have to, might have to prosecute me. Because I was ready to take a shit behind that light. And it really wasn't no cover. It was just so a couple people wouldn't see me. But like a lot of people would have seen me. It would have been a whole, So the story is, do not eat heavy before you run a race. That's not going to have a damn porta potty on the course. As soon as I finish the race, I'm walking, clenched cheeks, walking, bow. I snatched the medal out the person's hands. I was handing everybody their participation medal. Snatched the damn medal out their hand. Made a beeline straight to the first porta potty I could find. I'm bumping people. Get the fuck out the way. Shit's going down right now. I got to the porta potty. I watched a whole episode of Martin. Yeah, I was in there that long. Yeah. Almost took a shit on the runway of Hartsfield-Jackson Airport. True story. Not one of my finest moments. Funniest, but not one of my finest. All right. I know everybody's already heard of the young lady that's suing Lyft because of or due to refusal of service. Let's just get into it. Old buddy that was the Lyft driver was like, baby, you're not going to fit in my vehicle. You weigh 500 pounds. The lady's name, I apologize if I messed her name up. The lady's name is Daja Blanding, a.k.a. Dank DeMoss. She's a rapper from Detroit. Dank DeMoss. They call her Heavy D. Okay, they don't call her Heavy D, but I mean Dank DeMoss. Her name is Daja. Heavy D, 500 pounds, big back, heavy D. Heavy D reincarnated. Heavy D. Okay? All right. So, yeah. So, Heavy D is suing Lyft. Lyft actually fires the Lyft driver because he refused service. Now, mind you, I'm thinking this is his vehicle. He should be able to refuse service for any reason he wants. It's his vehicle, whether he feels in danger, whether he feels, the service that he's trying to give will not be safe for his vehicle. Now, the lady, Miss Blandon, aka Heavy D, she was on the Breakfast Club, and this is where the story gets it gets interesting because a lot of people are saying she fucked up her lawsuit by going on to the Breakfast Club. Not because of what she said, it's because her request. Her request was when she went into the Breakfast Club, they had a nice chair for her. She was like, "What's that?" She said, I'm gonna need something else. You don't see this back. So they went and got her one of those sectionals that you see in the club when you order like 2 to 4 bottles and you got, like 10 people with you. They had brought out a sectional like that. I'm serious. You can look at the footage. I'm not bashing. It is what it is. I'm telling you that they brought out a sectional without the bottles so she could do an interview. So, ma'am, if you're going to do an interview on the Breakfast Club and a simple chair is not big enough for you, how the hell you feel like you're going to fit in a compact sports car? Because the back seat was not and is not as big as that big ass sectional they brought your big ass in the Breakfast Club. I don't think she has a case because that would be my first exhibit. And when did big backs have a community? Apparently, because she was on there talking about, our community, our fat people community, we get, discriminated against all the time. We get refused service all the time. I didn't know it was a fat community. I didn't know that. And she didn't even say fat. She was like the F word. I didn't know it was the F word that was correlated with fat. I only know an F word. When you say F word, you either means fuck, or when some terrible, horrible people say F word, they may be referring to, homosexuality. Other than that, I didn't know like fat was also within when you say the F word. But apparently it is. Apparently it is. And I looked it up. I looked the community up. The crazy thing about what I looked up within the fat community, as of today, there has not ever been a march. I repeat, there has never been a march on behalf of their agenda. Ain't never march. Ever. But that's a community though. I respect you. Big backs, what's happening? Stop trading fast food menus like baseball cards too. I just put it out there. Fast food menus are not Pokemon cards. That's what they're not. They're not Pokemon cards, okay? All right. Stop trading them like they basketball cards. Stop having meetings, secret meetings, and everybody come with their favorite menus and y'all trading them back and forth. Stop doing that. I done heard about you. But you ain't had no march on behalf of your agenda. You ain't even mobilized. I think I'm gonna get in big trouble after that one. All right, Trump, man. Some of the things I read about Trump, it's hard to believe. This man has said that he wants to make a place the 51st state of America. And when I say place, it's not another state. This dumbass wants to make Canada the first state of America. Canada, the 51st state of America. If that's not disrespectful, I don't know what is. I thought the most disrespectful thing that happened to Canada was damn a Kendrick verse. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. I thought Kendrick was bad, but you got a whole motherfucker that want to downgrade a whole country into a state. Talking about the fit. He actually in his circle refers to Canada as the 51st state. This is a whole damn country. That's why Canadians don't fuck with Americans now. Doing dumb shit like this, a whole country. You trying to reduce a whole country in its history down to the first state of America? Disrespectful. This is the same motherfucker that's trying to call the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America because he has a hidden agenda with Mexico. This motherfucker does everything out of spite. Donald Trump does so much shit out of spite where he is talking about making the Gulf of Mexico, which we call the third coast, the Gulf of America. And he still want them to chip in on that fucking wall. And he's still deporting motherfuckers left and right and building concentration camps, separating families from them children. But some of y'all the ones that voted for him don't have buyer's remorse. Don't do that. Don't have buyer's remorse. Stand on your business. This is your man. This your man's? That's your man that you voted for. Motherfucker ain't been in office a whole month yet. Causing all this trouble. That's your man's. That's your man's. All right. Black History Month. Love, you know what I'm saying, including my black people, my black community in the history that, a lot, of our history is not told unless it's February. That's one thing. But that's neither here nor there, but it's definitely there because it's about to be here. So let's go about that. Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts, let's give this black man his flowers. Let's give this black man his flowers. On Sunday, Jalen Hurts became the fourth starting black quarterback to win a Super Bowl. He is the third to win Super Bowl MVP. The third black quarterback to win Super Bowl MVP. Not starting quarterback because I believe Doug Williams won MVP for the Redskins when he won, but he wasn't a starting quarterback. Shout out to Doug Williams. You did your thing too. So yeah, Jalen Hurts. If you haven't looked up his story, please look up a little more than I will tell you right now. But he is a prime example of self-confidence, knowing thyself, and resiliency. Prime example of resiliency. This man loses his starting job at Alabama. Loses his starting job during the national championship game when he lost it to Tua at the second half. Still the perfect teammate. Man, he's in every huddle. He's cheering on Tua. He's cheering on the team. Never sulking. Always a positive brother. And they end up winning that national championship. The next season, he goes and transfers to Oklahoma. Has a great season. Great season. Gets drafted. Before he even gets drafted, they're asking him if he wants to change positions. They're trying to put in his mind that he can't cut it at quarterback in the NFL. Just can't do it. So he gets drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles. Doug Peterson doesn't want him. He wins the last 2 games, I believe, of his rookie season. Doug Peterson still don't want him. So they ship Doug Peterson out of here. We don't need that negativity. We see something in this guy. We see something in Jalen Hurts. So if you don't see it, take a walk. Go down to Jacksonville. Go down there. Work. Even after leading his team to a Super Bowl appearance 2 years ago, still not mentioned in the conversation of elite quarterbacks. Still being hated on as I don't think he's the type of quarterback that can lead a team to a Super Bowl victory. I don't put him in elite conversation. He can't throw the ball. He can't throw the ball well enough to be an elite NFL quarterback. The brother last Sunday just won a damn Super Bowl. Everybody got hush mouth now. Nobody's talking. Everybody want to do this bullshit. I gotta admit, I was wrong. I gotta eat my words. Well, see, that's the thing about being a public critic. Because a lot of the times, you're going to eat your words. Especially dealing with a brother that believes in himself that much. Yeah. Jalen Hurts, from day one, is a leader. He's a winner. You can't count these guys out. You just can't. You're going to have to pick up your face every single time you count an individual out like Jalen Hurts. Every time you count an individual out like Jalen Hurts, you're going to have to pick up your face. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? You had to wipe that egg off your face. Shout out to Jalen Hurts. Keep doing your thing. I'm not a Philly fan. Carolina Panthers all day, baby. Keep pounding. I got to deal with my man Bryce Young. I call him Mice. Soaking wet, about $162. Maybe 2 inches taller than me, and that ain't saying much. It ain't saying much. But that's my quarterback. Fuck it. T.O. voice. That's my quarterback. I got to rock with him. All right. Back in the day, being an astronaut is something that you would hear children in elementary school answer when the question would be, what do you want to be when you grow up? Astronaut was high on the chart. It was astronaut. Let me tell you why you want to rethink that shit. It's not that sexy of a job. We launched NASA has launched astronauts into space, into the damn galaxy, June 2024, for an 8-day mission, a little bit over a week. Them niggas still up there. Stranded on an International Space Station right now. They still up there, eating all that bullshit food, sleeping in cramped quarters, not knowing when the hell they coming back. It was supposed to be an 8-day mission. Them people still in space, chilling. Don't even know what the hell going on down here other than what NASA tell them. I bet they don't even know how much Trump fucking up. NASA ain't putting them on game like that. I bet the motherfuckers in space that been in space since June 5th, they don't know about Heavy D getting Lyft drivers fired. They don't know about that. They don't know who won the Super Bowl. They just up there stranded on an International Space Station, eating that bullshit food. And you know somebody in there stinking. I think they said it's 5 astronauts that went. It's at least 2 of them stinking. They stinking up space. I couldn't be cramped in no space shuttle all that time. All right, yo, give me one of them suits, man. I need to take me a walk. I need to chill. Get away from y'all. Y'all going crazy. It's but so much tic-tac-toe I can play with y'all. Damn it. All right. In Norway, a seafood company that lost about 27,000 salmon from a fish farm off the coast of Norway is offering $45. Fugitive fish. They actually call them a fugitive fish if you find them and return them. If you find one of the fish that escaped, one of 27, or however many you find of the 27,000 fish that have escaped into the waterways off of Norway, they'll give you $45 per fish. First of all, how the fuck we gonna identify your fish, your salmon, from wildlife salmon? How we gonna identify them? You got pictures? Y'all gave them names? How you supposed to identify the salmon they looking for from the wild salmon that's already in the water? The shit gets worse. So the salmon that escaped, from this fish farm, if we can call that, the seafood farm. The salmon that has escaped from the seafood farm is a major risk to wild salmon, because apparently the fish from the seafood farm will be competing with the wild salmon for spawning grounds, which in turn, while they're competing, the fish from the this is the nasty part, the fish from the seafood farms can give, this is true, I promise, they can give the wild salmon that's already in the water, it's called sea lice. I ain't even hear no damn sea lice. And I ain't even have to look it up because I know what regular lice is. And I don't want no damn salmon that got sea lice. That sound nasty. Some shit you don't have to look up. Just use your damn context clues. You got damn salmon that you already in a seafood farm, which you have that to give to the public. So you trying to tell me the salmon that you are prepared and are supposed to be sold to the public, when they escape, they have a risk to give wild salmon that's already in the water, they risk sea lice. The risk is sea lice. So long story short, if you're in Norway or anywhere close to it, you might as well just stop eating salmon altogether. Probably no seafood from Norway. That Norwegian salmon, it ain't hitting on shit. It ain't hit. I wouldn't even give my cat. I ain't even got no cat. But if I did have a cat, I wouldn't even give him that damn salmon with no sea lice. Sea lice? That's disgusting. That's disgusting. All right. Time to get up out of here. Again, any thoughts, concerns, questions, whatever, please email us at ain'tnotelling@gmail.com. You can go to any of your platforms where you can find podcasts. Type in "Ain't No Telling" the podcast. Listen to us. Also, you can go on YouTube. Very shortly, probably next week, I'll actually start. Whenever I tape my episodes, they'll be going live, and they'll be going live on YouTube and probably IG. Yeah. Well, I'm just a weekend baby, but hey yo, we here. Everything is a buck and some change. Ain't no telling the podcast. Cedric Johnson, your host. I got my man Young Ray coming real soon. Go and get him. Gonna get the fold. But other than that, everybody have a great night, a great morning, or a great afternoon, wherever you're at in the motherfucking world. Do good rather than bad. Oh, and also tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow is damn Valentine's Day. I ain't got no Valentine. Nah, I ain't got no Valentine. So guess what? The whole audience, meaning all the women that look at this show. I appreciate you brothers too. I appreciate you brothers for looking at the show. But tomorrow, the women will be my Valentine. So don't miss tomorrow's episode. I'm gonna holler at y'all. Peace.